Well, here we are once again, everybody. Hello, my name is Rob, and welcome to the vidIQ Tuesday channel audit live streams here on YouTube. If you are new, then welcome. You are joining a family of creators here who are looking to grow their channels, inspire, entertain, and all of those other positive manifestations that we will be channeling throughout this live stream. And look at all of you coming in here. It's amazing. All of these people saying hello and waving and welcome, as we always do at the start of every live stream. Do let us know if you are brand new here and we will welcome you in, or if you're an old timer, an original gangster who's been here for, what, 6-7 years. Myself and who else? Do let us know in the chats. Someone who's been here for many years as well, and is my co-host, and gets this week his own theme song. Can you believe this? Yeah, I'm gonna lower down the current music because he gets his own theme song today. He is my co-host, and he is the undoubtable, the irreplaceable, the magnificent Dan, the man, the gaming expert. The man who has never watched a single second of Jurassic Park. But that now is his theme song.
You're getting us a copyright claim over this?
There is no copyright claim here as long as we continue to talk, Dan.
That's not how it works.
I believe it is. That is what I'm going to go with. That is what I'm going to go with. Yes, folks, if you are a regular here, we're all trying to persuade Dan to watch Jurassic Park at some point in his life because it is one of the most amazing films ever, and he still hasn't seen it 30 plus years later. Dan, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. And if you annoy me at any point during this live stream, I will play that theme tune of its whole entirety once again.
Yeah, you know what? You rack up the copyright claims. I will sit back and laugh.
11 million views that rock metal version of Jurassic Park has on YouTube. It's truly incredible. Truly incredible. Anyway, if you are brand new here, then we're going to show you how this live stream is going to operate for the next 2 hours with a 1-minute teaser. Welcome back, creator. Here we go again. This is your weekly YouTube channel audit live stream. All you need to do is use the correct link in the description, fill out the form, and we'll consider your channel for review. That's right, channel reviews are free, but you can send us a super chat and watch us discuss your question live on air. You can get a channel audit anytime you want by downloading vidIQ and asking our AI coach to give you one. Or take your channel to the next level with one-on-one coaching for your channel from a human coach here at vidIQ. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We will share with you our knowledge, experience, and passion as fellow YouTube creators. I want to do a quick shout out to all of our moderators who do an awesome job on the live stream every single week. You know who you are. And with the introductions done, it's over to you. What channels have you brought us this week? Yeah, so that's how we do things here every week. There's a bit of housekeeping to do as always. First of all, we are now live. Another thing that we're
welcome,
doing...
everybody. Thanks for being...
We are live, yes. I hope we were live. Anyway, wouldn't it be amazing, Dan, if that slider thing just actually was tied in Bluetooth-wise and set us live?
You know, with AI, you could probably make yourself a program that'll do that.
I probably could. Another thing that we talk about regularly this live stream is our continued chase, and it's getting really heated. But we are chasing down the Ford Motor Company right now for subscribers. Yes, this 100-year-old brand that has sold hundreds of millions of vehicles across the world has 2.5 million subscribers, and we want them. We are in.
We want those specific subscribers.
Their rear view mirror, but not for long. So to track where we are right now, we have got up to, let's just check this, 1.85 million. That is good work. I think we've had a fantastic week. So thank you all for subscribing to us. We are, oh, look at that. We just got up to 100. That's so amazing. I love it when that happens. We're on the road to 2 million that we hope to reach this year, and then maybe overtake the Ford Motor Company by maybe this time next year. But there is another thing that I want to show you about the Ford. What have I done here? How do I get ourselves back on? Yeah. There's another thing that I want to show you here, because like we're celebrating our achievements. But what about your achievements? YouTube is a long journey. It's a marathon. And you want to try and take it in stages and steps, and not just say, right, I've started my channel. I want a gold play button. Maybe let's just hold on. Let's take this a little more progressively. And so if you look up here, what is this? There's a little trophy thing up here in the top right-hand corner, which my mouse is hovering over. And if I click that, oh, wow.
Oh,
It's showing our achievements. And it tells us that, wow, in November of 2023, Dan, we had an amazing month of over 5 million views, which is incredible. I think that was a lot down to some viral shorts and John Sam Sulik video. But hey, we had a great month there. And we have other highlights here, hitting 150 million views, also 1.5 million subscribers, all of these amazing certificates. And we want you to share in that success with your channel. So what you may see on screen right now, just in the top right-hand corner, is this little QR code thing. Now you can screenshot it, or you can use another phone to take a picture of it. What this is going to do is get you to vidIQ, if you haven't already done so, to download it, install it, connect your account, etc., to allow you to get these achievements and share them. And this is a 100% free tool. And people are sharing these certificates all over the place. Like, I just quickly went on to mentions, and somebody mentioned vidIQ, thanking us. I mean, I don't know, maybe we should take credit for these 100,000 views, but they shared the certificate on YouTube. And we want you to do the same, but a little bit differently over the next hour. We want you to share these achievements on Twitter, because we're going to shout some of them out during this live stream. That's the guarantee, if I remember, that we will shout some of these out. So what you need to do is obviously download vidIQ if you haven't already done so, connect up your account, get your latest certificate achievement, and share it using this hashtag on Twix, Twitter, X, whatever they want to call it these days. Hashtag vidIQ milestone. And what I want us to do, Dan, as a live stream within the next hour is remove Jerry TJ Sun from the top of the feed, because they celebrated their hashtag vidIQ milestone 4 months ago.
yeah.
Folks out there, share yours on Twitter, and maybe during super chats or around that time, we're going to shout some of you out. Right? You're always asking for shout outs. Well, this is a way to get a shout out and celebrate your success during a live stream.
Cool. What are we doing?
Cool.
Should we look at some channels, or
I think we should
did that
look at
already,
some channels
right?
now. No, we haven't looked at any channels now. So let's get back to
last week's stream now.
to the business at hand, which is auditing your channels.
Oh,
All right. And this is how it works. We take the first channel that's submitted from the forms and we scrutinize it in a constructive way. And that channel, Dan, is Sadiq Umar.
Oh.
And we'll apologize in advance if we mispronounce anybody's channel names. It's kind of like a rite of passage here. You submit your channel, Dan and I mispronounce it because we're just terrible linguists.
Yeah.
Well, but anyway,
you nailed it.
yeah, terrible linguistics. I can't even say the word appropriated. like, shall I just keep shoveling?
Yeah.
I think it's time for my first meme of the week.
It's nothing to do with your computer.
It's already started. It's nothing to do with it. It's the only meme I've got. Maybe this one.
This is the worst.
You need the Apple pinwheel that goes right on your forehead.
Yeah.
That would be good. That'd be good.
With a noise. Anyway, where were we, Dan? We're trying to audit this channel. They have 1,500 subscribers. And I just want you to give like first impressions, what do you think the channel's about, where they are with their packaging, that type of stuff.
I'm just looking at the thumbnails and I'm seeing and the banner freelancing. So this
All right.
seems like a channel for helping people who are going to work for themselves, which noble cause and very complicated. I think if anyone's experienced actually working for yourself, whether it be on YouTube or running any kind of business, you know there's a whole bunch of stuff you don't take into account until you actually start digging in, and it's probably one of the first places you're going to go is YouTube to just try and like learn from other people,
Yeah.
for free because you're spending a lot of money on your new business, and channels like this can do very, very well.
So a utility channel, probably relying on search-based content. And, Dan, you were able to ascertain within 20 seconds, if not a shorter amount of time, that this is specifically for the freelance, maybe gig economy type of viewer. Thumbnail-wise, I think we would both agree that these are pretty phenomenal thumbnails, right? Bright, contrasty, the colors really pop. There may be an argument that perhaps they're a little too complicated, sometimes a little bit too much text, but things that can be fixed relatively quickly.
I have one critique out of the gate, and some thumbnails they do it, and some they don't, especially the later ones. This creator feels a little bit scared, I think, to have overlapping elements. And what I mean is, like, look at the get ahead thumbnail, the second one there, where it has the TikTok and Instagram like little alerts in the corners. It's hard enough to like read those, but like they made sure that they both fit perfectly in the frame with room to spare. But you could have made them a little bit larger, maybe angled them a bit and had them kind of peeking behind your shoulder, like little things like that to make them more readable, because I think people naturally want to see what those say. And there's a bunch of examples of this, of different thumbnails where they have elements and they're, not like overlapping on other elements, and it's making it so the thumbnail has a lot of like negative space around it. So I think that alone, like making things a bit larger and allowing them to overlap a little bit, is not a bad, like, first thing I might change. It's low-hanging fruit, easy to do, and all for the purpose of just making the elements on the screen stand out a bit more, especially if they have small text on them.
You would agree that I guess we're nitpicking at this point.
Of course.
The thumbnails are already like a 7, 8, 9 out of 10.
Yeah. This is just like you mentioned thumbnails, so I'm like, okay, one thing I would change. But overall, this is really strong. How long have they been at it?
So if we go to the oldest video, less than a month. Less than a year. So the fact that they've already got 1,500 subscribers, my guess is they're nearing monetization with watch hours as well, probably. So I think that they're in line with typical YouTube progress at this stage. And we can see like the thumbnail evolution is here as well. Like they started off generally quite basic, but still functional. And now they've progressed into these powerhouse thumbnails.
Yeah, I love the different use of colors. Everything. If the elements are like harder to read or whatever, you can pretty much understand what's going on by the text they include in the thumbnail. New freelancing jobs in Nigeria, and then the title kind of emphasizing that once again. So you're never left hanging too much. You can, if you want to know, you can figure out what each video is about just by, digging in a little bit deeper. And I think where I'm hung up now, like next after discussing packaging, is the views.
Yeah.
Especially the later videos, they're not doing, I imagine, as well as the creator would like, especially when you scroll down a little bit, you see our outlier tool pointing out one that is like 1.3K views.
Oh, yeah.
Virtual Assistant complete course. Not too surprising there. I think Virtual Assistant, very popular term. And then you have the fact that it's a longer video, a complete course. People feel like, I'm not going to have to watch parts. I get like one full thing. I can watch one thing and get everything I want. That's great.
So yeah, let's discuss this then. In terms of channel focus, we know it's freelancing, but maybe they're focusing on the wrong aspect of freelancing, or they're not niched enough, or, there's several questions we can ask here. As always, the lowest common denominator is what we'll do here, Dan, is if we can see a channel that's already had some success, but the views aren't now quite keeping up with the subscribers, we'll switch it to the popular view to see if there's any patterns here. And again, as Dan mentioned, you'll see the outlier tool even more. This is where videos are outperforming for the channel, and obviously with the most popular ones, you'll see this outlier number more. But the theme I'm starting to see fairly quickly is virtual assistants. This feels like they're niche within a niche, where they can become a real, I guess, leader in this space on YouTube with sometimes thousands of views for the channel, which is, again, pretty encouraging.
Yeah, this is pretty wild here. 6 best virtual assistant skills for beginners. How to become a virtual assistant in Nigeria. How to create a freelance profile on Upwork. That one did well as well. So it seems like their audience is very interested in getting, a job, probably a remote job. A virtual assistant is somebody who can do all sorts of stuff for you, and it typically is somebody who works remotely, and it just takes care of things for you, just whatever you might need, and it's pretty wide ranging. So I think if you're going to put yourself out there as a virtual assistant, you're probably going to need some guidance, and it makes sense why these videos are performing so well. I kind of wonder the tools and stuff that they're talking about. If I wanted a video on this channel with 10,000 views, how would I get there? And I wonder if scoping out a little bit beyond Nigeria and, trying to get, find tools that have international reach. I think Upwork is international, for example.
Yeah.
And then, focus on how to become a virtual assistant, hands down. Just that's it. Instead of you did a specific place, and that's cool. Now I'm kind of wondering, can you branch out even more and make a guide like that?
I guess the demographics will determine that. If the majority of their audience is coming from what I assume is their native country, Nigeria, I'm curious if they might want to lean into that, Dan, because I guess the total addressable market might be smaller, but they might be like the big cheese, the head honcho creator. But they'll only know that from their demographics. Typically, Dan, I'd agree with you in that virtual assistant is kind of a global term at this point, especially when, you could theoretically hire a virtual assistant in a different country. So going for those broader terms might be of interest as well, which I think is kind of like a nice natural segue for seeing that QR code again, because what we may advise to this creator is with vidIQ, going to the app area, which is app.vidiq.com. Once you set stuff up. And we just did some quick searching around. One of the things we did is keywords. What I'll do is I'll just reset this page. Because one of the things you can do is just generate tons of ideas very, very quickly. So if I go to the overview, we get the virtual assistant, which seems like a fairly decent keyword to operate in. But what we're really interested in is this option down here, which is called questions. What this basically does is generate hundreds of questions based off of that keyword. And so if I click into it, there's all sorts of different things that you could probably tackle here on that subject, being like how to become a virtual assistant, how to be the perfect virtual assistant, increasing your capabilities. I saw some interesting ones down here about, I think there's one about how to trust your virtual assistant, how to start a virtual assistant provider agency, and there's all sorts of options here. So again, this creator is going to know more about virtual assistants than myself and Dan, but they can very probably quickly look through this list and say, yeah, that seems like actually quite an interesting idea. Like, can you be a virtual assistant under 18? Now, again, this is one of those things where people who, instead of going to college, they can very quickly get work through digital means. And, is it legal to do that? That might be an interesting conversation starter. So all of these options to try. And the good news is that you have free access to this tool as well. It is a little limited, but you will still get access to this tool. And the one other thing that we wanted to suggest as well was ideas. Now, for this creator, when they install vidIQ, it will be tied into their channel. So they get tons of personalized ideas around virtual assistants and other freelancing video ideas. But what we can do is customize ours and say, right, I want to look at virtual assistant as a keyword. And it brings up all of these daily ideas for us, like how to maximize virtual assistants for productivity, a virtual assistant versus a human assistant. I think that would be a really interesting topic generally on YouTube. So you want to maybe do some research on that. But yeah, that's a quick idea that we could maybe investigate as well. And we just save all of these for ideas to take on later. So yeah, that's just another angle of the vidIQ tools that you can take advantage of. as we look through more of our channel audits. Any final thoughts then, Dan, on our hero channel here before we move on?
Yeah, the one last thing I was going to say, and they've probably covered a lot of these things. We're not looking at every single video, but there's how to become a virtual assistant. There could be some opportunities on hiring virtual assistants, hiring the right ones, because that's where, like, when we were looking at those keywords, I was noticing there was a lot of search terms of people like going, hey, you know, I need to find a virtual assistant. And I feel like if you're qualified enough to help people become virtual assistants, you should also be qualified enough to help people find them, because you know exactly where they're hanging out. So just if I were to offer some more suggestions and ideas, that is, the packaging is good on this channel. They seem to kind of know their audience. So that is the next key thing for them, is finding good ideas. We've shown you a couple ways to do that now. So best of luck.
So that is Sadiq Umar. Do let us know if you try out any of the vidIQ tools. Let us know in the chat, because they'll help you. And once Dan and I have decided to take a break from channel auditing, but we're not going to do it for a while. We've got some more chance to audit. And the next one we're going to audit is a gaming channel. And Dan, this is a Minecraft channel, but a Minecraft channel with a difference. And I'm going to let you try and figure out what that is.
Minecraft roleplay.
Well, Dan obviously knows what he's doing here. He's very. Okay, I guess he just read that.
I did just read the titles.
Okay, cool. But 3,000 subscribers, and if you look at the view counts, consistent, healthy Minecraft channels, Minecraft saturated, but they've found their own unique angle. And I'm thinking you might have something to say here about the numbers and like the episodic content and so forth.
Now, role plays are interesting because for those who don't know, basically a lot of games you can do this. Everyone in the video is playing a character, obviously role play, and there's usually an ongoing linear series. So I'm not too offended by episode numbers in this case, because it means, hey, you kind of do want to go back to the beginning if you want to see the story as it is. What gets me about this one is that while the 3D models of the characters look nice and everything on the thumbnails, they're not telling me much. And I think for a role play to be successful, and this is not successful, I mean, they're getting great views. For a role play to be more successful and reach even more people, it helps to have some kind of indicator as to what's happening in the episode, what kind of drama is going to ensue. A lot of role plays are just filled with drama. So I see like the Lolly debate, episode 17 there. A debate is inherently interesting. Like the characters are going to be debating something, you know, and you could have done maybe a little debate stage. You could have had the characters with like controversial things over their heads as if they typed them out, you know, like just different things they're saying. Like paint a picture a little bit more with the thumbnail, like quite literally, and show us, hey, this episode of this role play is going to be funny or dramatic or interesting because of this. So just give us one snapshot of that, and do that for every video, because what's inevitably going to happen is YouTube will push episode 18 to some new people, and they see 18 and they see two characters on the screen, but they don't get anything else. It just says caught doing what? Like, that's the interesting bit right there. And you boil it down to one word. And that's my biggest issue with this. Like, if you want this to take off even more, I think I want to see just a little more intrigue in all of these.
I was going to say, Dan, this latest one has a bit more action and jeopardy to it. So because the character's holding a sword to their neck. Sword.
I didn't see that before.
Yeah, that's the thing. I didn't even realize that action until I stared at the thumbnail for like 10, 15 seconds.
It should be diamond. The sword should be blue, like the diamond sword, because that's more recognizable. And
the background shouldn't be dark as well, because of that. So yeah, like either a state of action or a, like, as you say, a speech bubble or whatever to help describe the action would help. What about titles as well? It's usually the episode is 2 words, and then everything else is episode number, Minecraft roleplay, etc.
It's too much. Like, so caught is the interesting bit. I want that expanded on, and what I want to see is fallen. That should be at the end. It should be fallen Minecraft roleplay episode number, maybe, because you have that episode number so big in the thumbnail. If you're not going to get rid of that, at least put the episode number as the last thing, and then get rid of the part numbers in. Like, if you go back up to the top 2 videos there, you see how it's Fallen episode 18, the festival part 2. Like, we have over-titled the video at this point now. Like, there's 3 or 4 different things about the title that are all different from one another. Like, if the series is called Fallen, fine. I think Minecraft roleplay is the thing that's actually selling these. People are like, oh, it's a Minecraft roleplay. I'm glad that's not truncated. I'm glad Minecraft roleplay is there. You could probably do away with the word fallen in every video because that's just a word to someone who's new, right? It doesn't matter. So yeah, I would say caught, expand on that, get rid of fallen. I don't like the fact that there's episodes within episodes with the part numbers there. I would advise getting rid of those as well because it gets to the point faster. They were caught doing something, Minecraft roleplay, episode number. Make it simple. And if you want better examples of this, because I'm just coming up with this on the fly based on my old information, go look and see what other Minecraft roleplays are doing and how they're titling, how they're thumbnailing, so you can get a better idea of what is working in the space. Don't just take my word for it. Like, go out and do some research. But I can tell you for sure, I think this series could do even better if the titles and or the thumbnails, most likely, like ideally both, told me a little bit more about what was going to happen in that episode. Because once you get like 100 episodes deep into this thing, it's going to be really hard to convince somebody to go all the way back to watch in the first place. Gosh, there's so much catching up to do. So at the very least, like, make each episode feel like, well, at least it kind of stands on its own. Like, there's obviously someone doing something they shouldn't be doing. They just got caught. Give me just a tiny bit more, and I'm likely to at least pick up the series at episode 18, if not go back and watch all of it.
And let's talk a bit about the scale of this series, because they started this, Dan, over a year ago. I mean, most television series have like seasons that last a year, and then you move on to season 2, season 3. They're on episode, 18 of this, and it's already taken them a year. I'm not trying to encourage the creator here to just start making more episodes and try and cram content, because that takes too long. Sorry, that's just going to put them under too much pressure, perhaps maybe burnout. But can you have a series like this sustain on YouTube for this long? The first video got 15,000 views, and then the next 4,000, and now it kind of settled into a routine of like 1,000 views or less.
Yeah, it's likely people are seeing the newest episodes and going back to episode 1. So I anticipate episode 1 will always be more popular.
True.
But yeah, you have a good point. How long can this go on? I would be thinking about an exit strategy here. Whether, like, I don't want you to pick like a specific number of episodes, because I think that's kind of arbitrary. You should just kind of get the story to where you're happy with it. So you can call that like chapter 1 or something. And then what I want you to do is take all those episodes, as long as that video is going to be, let it be 10, 12 hours, cram them into one full series video and release that maybe a few weeks after the last episode comes out. I've recommended this in the past. It works for a lot of channels. If you can get 15,000 views on episode 1, that is a strong indicator that a lot of people will be willing to keep watching. If that video wasn't 12 minutes, imagine if that video was an hour. Imagine if that video was 3 hours. People will watch, because if the series is intriguing, they're going to watch all the way through. What's going to happen inevitably is episode 1 is eventually going to stop getting views because the compilation is getting all the views. But people are going to watch that compilation, that 4 or 5 hour video, and go, oh my gosh, the amount of editing in this 4 or 5 hour video. And they will watch it. They will rewatch it. I have seen this happen. I have evidence of this. This is something people do when they like a series and it's been crammed into a mega long compilation. They will put that on in the background. They will watch it in chunks. And YouTube does a much better job of holding your place in one mega video than it does in a playlist. If you've ever tried to watch something on a playlist and come back to it, you probably know what I'm talking about. YouTube playlists are completely broken. But one mega long video, that is like, YouTube knows exactly how to get you back into the middle of that video. So that is my overall recommendation for this channel. And then once you finish the series, you can either do a season 2, or you can start a whole new story or something to that effect. But I love how long it's taken, because it means they've put a ton of work into each episode. What would happen if this became one mega compilation of the complete series? I'm dead curious.
If you already mentioned this, Dan, do you think there's an opportunity to have a cut-off now? Maybe like episode 1 to 10 they could compile, because each one is about 10 to 15 minutes long. So if you did it for 10 episodes, you're already looking at maybe a 2.5 hour version. Or I guess find an episode where there is a big cliffhanger. And you can almost call that the first season. It
needs to represent the end of something, and it needs to be, because the goal is to title it as the full series, or make it sound complete. You don't have to use the exact words full series, but it needs to sound complete. And if you go and look at different channels, you'll notice that channels that have a video or two where it says complete series or full guide, or we just looked at a channel that said it was the complete guide. Like, when something sounds like, oh, this is the whole thing, I'm going to give you one big box and everything you need is in it, that video gets views. And I think it's because people are like, oh, great, I can sit down and just watch this and I don't have to go hunting around for each individual part. So don't break up longer videos into parts. The goal here is to get one finalized thing. So if you can say it's the entire season 1 or whatever, that sounds more final than saying parts 1 through 10. Like that, you're still making me go hunt around for more stuff, and I don't like that.
And a question I just spotted here in the comments comes from Art Journey. Compilation.
No.
Wouldn't that be reused content? And
not if it's your content.
Yeah. You're compiling your own content into, I guess, a unique playlist.
Can you just search Settled real quick on YouTube? For anyone who hasn't seen this, I've shown this in videos, but I just want to show people who are new and asking this question.
One, right?
Like, oh, am I allowed to do this? Just the word Settled. Yeah. And then click on the channel and then go to videos and scroll down a little bit. Settled does mega long RuneScape series, and he just finished one called Tileman. There it is, 2,500 hours. Full series. 1.6 million views, 11 hours.
Wow.
This is where I'm getting this from. And I'm telling you, I've tried this myself. I've seen other creators do this. This is common. This is every video in the series compiled into one almost 12-hour video. And people are watching it, and they're rewatching it, and they're commenting, and they love it. You can read the comments of that video. People are obsessed. You know, that is all videos that were previously released put into one video. So it can work as long as it's your content. Then you're not reusing someone else's content.
And we've done this a couple of times when we've made a few videos about subscribers and thought, hey, there's kind of like a natural progression and journey in these videos. We'll compile them together. And they have limited success, but they do get a lot of watch time as well.
Yeah.
And the idea is that you're trying to find a brand new audience. You're not necessarily trying to appeal to your returning viewers because they've already seen it. But if somebody can find like a compilation of your content all in one place and just binge watch it, that is like chef's kiss. And as Dan says, it's much better than a playlist because it's just a one video in their watch history that they can finish off at any time.
You can't compile anything. Like there has to be a reason it's compiled. For us, we're trying to take a similar string of advice that flows together nicely and put it in one mega guide. For the channels we're looking at, the gaming channels, that's a progressive series. It was broken out into episode numbers because you wanted to see the story, and you like in RuneScape, it's about a character building up from level 0 to max level or whatever. And so that's a progressive series, and it makes sense for one experience to be one giant video. You don't want to just randomly compile your videos into super long videos. It has to make sense. And this is the perfect case where once they finish their series they're working on, that could be a compilation, and it could probably do incredibly well for them, just seeing how that first episode's doing. A lot of people were interested enough to go back to episode 1.
That is Moonlntensity. Let's move on to the next channel then. We'll audit, and they call themselves the Arctic Explorer. 2,000 subscribers, 400 plus videos. So they've been at this YouTube journey for quite a while, at least in terms of content. They've been doing this for 5 years. And in that time, what they've decided to do, and I'm trying not to say this in a critical way yet, they've decided that they're going to go for point of view thumbnails, whereby might just take a freeze frame from the video and add some simple text to it. I guess my immediate question, Dan, is with the landscape that they're working in, is that enough, or should we hope and expect a little bit more?
I think you can do POV thumbnails, but yeah, the word enough is the one I'm thinking of too. Is that enough? Like, I just don't know to what end. And that's my big question. Like for example, the third video, Sea Forest 520 snow plowing in April. If you're snow plowing something, there's like an inherent before and after that comes to mind.
Yeah, that's all right. The transformation of a plowing.
Yeah, I think that would have been cool. Like if this snowplow is so effective and stuff, like show me the before and after. Right? I think it's not enough to have an ATV and drive around on it. What utility does it perform? And you would be surprised how many people would be interested actually in seeing a street go from covered in snow to completely plowed. That's like satisfying. Even if they don't learn anything, they're just entertained by it. So yeah, I think these videos, it's not so much the thumbnails, it's the ideas for me. It's okay. And the thumbnails could be better too, but where is this going? You know what I mean? Each video is kind of like, snow plowing or driving around, motor sounds. Like, could there be just a little bit more involvement, like in terms of like the idea, like what am I going to get from the video?
Yeah, my guess is this is one of those experience type of channels where you just like are in the point of view of this person who has this job, which you would never usually experience yourself. So they have that unique landscape or location or job, which means that it's very difficult to replicate. And I guess the question is, does this need to be, and you may hate me for saying this, but like YouTubeify it a bit more in terms of, do you need to add some form of stake to this? And I'm not saying if you don't plow this drive, then there's going to be an avalanche and people are going to die. I'm not meaning that, but as you say, Dan, they're plowing, but for what reason? Is it because they have an elderly neighbor who can't get out and do their shopping if you don't help them?
Clients?
Or, sorry?
Clients? Are they doing this because someone called them?
If not, then are you just plowing the snow because you have to, because it snows 10, 20 inches every single night, and you need to do that to survive? Yeah. After 400 videos of this snow plowing experience, maybe there does need to be something added to this. And I don't know, do you also add challenges in there? Like, can you do this in a couple of hours? Or like, you're going to do it with a certain type of plow attached to the front of the ATV? I don't know. I'm trying to think of ideas as they come into my head. And I guess the other challenge here is, Dan, that we're just talking about these recent videos when there's snow. You scroll down to 7 or 8 months ago when it was summertime. They're not doing that, but they still have the ATV experience. And, there's still outliers here. There's one here, which is a review. So that is more a utility type of content. That got 10,000 views, which is quite interesting. And whenever they review something, they get thousands more views. So I'm wondering if they need to plug in more. It might be difficult to review an ATV every single week, but can you review certain aspects of it, whether it's the steering, the suspension, or like comparing the ride comfort in different ATVs, kind of listicle stuff, that type of formatting of the content.
Yeah, we're definitely missing. In obviously in the review videos now, it's like about something specific, but most of the videos being uploaded are. It kind of feels like they've promised themselves they're going to post a certain amount of videos within a time frame, but we're just not thinking hard enough, I think, about why someone would watch. And you mentioned a lot of stuff in there that kind of points to story. Like, tell me about the street, tell me about the person you're plowing for, like something in there. Like there is a segment of this that is like, I'm sure there's a reason behind what you're doing. It's just not explained in the title and the thumbnail. And I think the one type of channel that I can compare this to are those channels where they like mow people's lawns and do like a bunch of yard work. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see shorts like that pop up all the time. Why do you stop scrolling on those? Well, it's because they tell a story. Like, I was walking and I saw this person's yard and it looked like it hadn't been taken care of in a really long time, so I knocked on their door. Like, a story just begins whether you ask it to or not. And before you know it, you've just watched someone mow a lawn. You're like, I don't care about lawn mowing content. I live in an apartment. I don't have a lawn. But you watched it anyway. You didn't try and learn anything from it. It was just entertaining to you, So I don't know what you'd search for. But this
what topic would that come under? Mowing someone's lawn. We need an example.
Yeah, there you go. The first one right there. That short.
Like, she wanted to quote. Yeah, okay.
So this is a whole niche of like the satisfying content of just watching people like mow lawns, and I think plowing snow is similar.
Except for when it isn't snowing during the summer.
Yeah, then you should probably get a lawnmower attachment for your ATV.
Dan has just solved this channel in one lawn mowing solution.
They're called Arctic Explorer. I'm sure they can find some snow.
Sure. Anything else for this channel? Do we want to maybe look at watch 20 seconds of one of these? Yeah, let's watch one of these. Because I just want to get a vibe, the experience.
So is this the whole video?
Let's skip forward.
It just stopped.
So this video definitely seems like just this person plowing a street, a road, with some text narration in between.
Yeah. It could definitely benefit from a host talking and some storytelling. They are editing, like there are different shots.
Yeah.
But you know, I think a couple times where you maybe speed it up so you can see some like time lapse action. Like there could be more to do. Like you could do more with this content. I think right now it's like I'm going to set up a camera. I'm not going to comment anything, and I'm just going to plow. And that's cool. Like you got step one down. Like you're making something, and that's really cool. But I would start to try and figure out how you can add elements to this. And once you do, perhaps you can compile a story, and then that becomes clear in the title, thumbnail, and now more people are watching because they're like, hey, like that's kind of cool. Like they're plowing snow for this neighbor that needs help or whatever.
I think when I had a look before we went live, some of them did include narration. Like one did start talking at the very beginning about how it'd just been snowing for endlessly for a few days, and they were going to have to plow their area again. I think was it this one? No, it wasn't this one. I can't remember which one, but so I think some of the videos, Dan, are like the experience, whereas others are more a bit narration storytelling, but not every time. It seems to be a mix.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I'm glad they're willing to like talk, because there's a lot of channels will recommend that too, and they're like, but I don't want to go to microphone, or I don't want to talk in my videos.
All right, then. That is the Arctic Explorer. And what we're going to do now is press some buttons, which means that some music will start. And also, our background will get a bit more fiery. Because what we're going to do now is super chats. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier on. Maybe I forgot in the housekeeping. But if you send us super chats, then we will read those super chats out, whether it's a question or like thanking us, which many of you like to do, which we really appreciate.
Affirmations only, please.
Like this first one, which is Goat Daddy and the Fam, just gained 50,000 subscribers. Oh my goodness. You know what that deserves, Dan? One of these. No, well, my button didn't work.
Oh, well
great. I'll try that one again in a second. That's really annoying when the button just doesn't work. Let me try it one more time. A delayed OMG, but an OMG nonetheless. 15,000 subscribers for Goat Daddy and the Fam. Next question coming in here from In Evermine. If you guys have any ideas for Minecraft videos, or do you have any Minecraft ideas? Well done. That's a broad question for a big competitive market.
It is. I mean, I see that they in their avatar, all I know of them is there's a pixel art Charmander that you built. That's pretty cool. I would be doing more things like that if that's what you do. If you're a builder of sorts, build things based on maybe challenges or trends, one or the other. So sometimes there's challenges where people are building a certain thing in a certain way. Sometimes there's just a trending piece of media. Like what was like a popular show that just came out? I just watched something recently where I'm like, oh, Doctor Who. Like you could have built the TARDIS, for example, and like that's kind of how you do it, right? It's especially in a competitive space, you just have to find ways to kind of get ahead. So we can't tell you what to do. It's kind of up to you if you're asking us for ideas. My question back to you is, do you know what you're making and why you're making it and who you're making it for? Or are you just like, I heard Minecraft is popular, I'm just gonna do that?
All right, that's beautiful stuff. For the next super chats, we have to play in the theme tune once again for you, Dan. It comes from Brian Lena, and this super chat is strictly to compensate you, Dan, for the time to watch Jurassic Park, a great movie. $19.99. I'm sure we can find it for cheaper than that, Dan, which will allow you some popcorn to enjoy this magnificent film, which I'm just making sure I continue to talk over until the theme tune ends.
Just push the button and end the theme tune.
What do you say? All right, then. What do you say to Brian Lean?
That money goes straight into Rob's pocket, so I'm not going to see that, unfortunately. But thank you anyway. Like, it was a nice thought.
1 week, folks. Animal Sensei, I believe we audited this channel maybe in the last 6 months. My thumbnails are made with AI. Should I check the altered content setting when I upload a video, or does the AI part apply only to the editing of a video?
You just released a video
I did. Now,
you didn't talk thumbnail specifically.
If you fill time for a second, Dan, I will try and bring up the...
I'll tell you what I think, but these rules, like most YouTube rules, are inherently vague. And I think they keep them a little bit vague, so they have license to kind of decide on the fly, like, ooh, no, we don't like that. That's just my tinfoil hat about why it's not super clear. What I would say is if your AI thumbnail is misleading in some way,
like that's what I think the key is.
You have the president eating a hornet's nest, for example. He likes ice cream, so that would be less misleading, but he doesn't eat hornets too often. And so if your thumbnail depicted that, it could be seen as misleading, and therefore maybe you'd want to check the altered content box. But that's just my YouTube didn't say any of that. I'm just saying you got to come from YouTube's perspective here. It is a really, like, their big concern is people using AI to mislead other people. So if your thumbnail is misleading in that way, I would just be safe, because it doesn't hurt the discoverability of your content.
Okay, I found it. So
perfect.
When it talks about examples of content creators do not have to disclose, right? It talks about the minor use of AI tools, and it does say production assistance like generative AI tools to create or improve a video, outline, script, thumbnail.
Okay.
Now, however, Dan, I'm still in agreement with you.
Yeah.
If the AI, if the generated image is trying to make somebody believe that something that is fake is actually real, then that, I believe, would be something that you would need to disclose. But that also runs into other policy issues like impersonation and like scam tactics and whatnot. So I would say if this is just an animal in their natural habitat as an AI image, you're probably all right. But don't quote me on this. And another thing I said in the video, Dan, was if we as creators with like 10 plus years of experience who call ourselves educators can't 100% determine whether something is yes or no, how is any other creator, like, who spends 2 seconds looking at that question, really able to determine the answer? You know, it's going to be such a gray area. And again, at the same time, the penalties are minuscule as long as you're not doing something really misleading and misinforming. It just shows a label in the description or on screen in some cases.
Yeah, like if you're a channel that's covering news and then you're saying a thing happened and you made an AI thumbnail depicting that thing, but it never happened, you're probably gonna be on the wrong side of the rules. But there's so many like what ifs, and there's so much nuance to it. So use your best judgment at the end of the day.
All right, then. Next super chat is from Delton Adams, getting my first $100 from YouTube in June. That means you've hit your threshold for the first time. Congratulations. Yeah, hey, good work there. Awesome work. And we got another super chat from Michael Butcher. Wow, another large super chat as well. Thank you very much. We can get Jurassic Park 2 and 3, Dan, to watch afterwards. I have a football news and speculation channel. I see many channels that use team logos and pictures of players in their thumbnails. What are the rules with that? Will I get a copyright? And will it prevent monetization? Yeah, this is a tricky one, because I guess technically speaking, if you start using other people's logos, brands and whatnot, you should be asking for permission. But it's almost as if now the brand logo genie is out of a YouTube bottle and has been for decades at this point, and people just use them willy-nilly all of the time. And I guess if you're talking about news and speculation and rumors, that's fine. But if you were to defame the logo in some way, or it's a headline underneath it is, you know, this company is exploiting child labor or something like that, then I think you've got a lot more to worry about. But in terms of news and football speculation, that seems as if it's in the fair use category for me. But again, I'm not an expert. What do you think, Dan?
It's really up to them. Like if they're not going after people because they either don't know or don't care, like that, when it comes to copyright is only a problem when the person who owns the copyright enforces it. And I say problem, like it's a problem for you. You know, it's not. It's their right to say you can't use this. And I mean, Minecraft is a good example. They've updated their EULA a couple times to be more restrictive of how people present Minecraft to their audience. And while it does upset the Minecraft YouTubers, it is their right. They can do whatever. Like Microsoft could one day decide no more Minecraft videos. We're sick of this, and every Minecraft YouTuber could be forced to remove all their Minecraft videos. That's a thing that Microsoft is allowed to do. So it's all. I know this isn't like, I'm not giving you anything actionable here because it's too complicated, and I'm not a lawyer. But you have to understand that like people use this stuff all the time, and it's really up to the copyright holder at the end of the day.
One more super chat for now, which comes from Ghost Prodigy. If I get a vidIQ coach, can I please have Savage? You wouldn't even need to pay for Savage. You can have him on request.
We should pay you for that, honestly.
Yeah, just be wary, be wary. All right, that's enough super chats for now, because what we need to do is check on whether or not anybody has shared their success on YouTube via Twitter with our certificates or Twix or X. And oh my word, it looks as if some have done. That's awesome.
Hey.
It looks as if many people have done this.
Oh.
I've opened up a milestone Pandora's box.
Okay, we should probably educate everybody on how we feel about shout-outs.
Well, Dan, I did promise. I promised. So I think we should do a quick fire round.
No,
of shout-outs.
It was a trick. It's because you don't want shout-outs from us, because you don't want our viewers ruining your channel by going and subscribing to your channel. That doesn't make any sense.
I'm doing it. I'm going to put some music on, and we're going to do this, Dan, right? All right, so we'll get this music playing, which is easily the outro music.
You can do it in one breath.
So, 80,000 views for 216 TV. We've also got one that I can't read, but it's from Kaz. It didn't show us a picture. 10,000 subscribers. Oh my gosh. From Crick Boss Joking, I think. 800 subscribers for Dragon Slayer Productions. We've also got Tizza Wizard. I'm sorry, I don't know why it didn't show your page, but you got 15,500 views. 1,500 views for the Miracle Ed, And we've also got 200,000 views for Street Wheels, 600 subscribers for Zell Designs, and we're celebrating 750 subscribers for Shadow Corey. Dan, front over to you so I can get my breath back.
65 million, no, 6.5 million, sorry. Was that views for Bobo Evans? So congrats to you. 35,000 views for Nika Art. Congrats to you. 1,000 subscribers for Hey It's Blue Pro.
Nice
awesome.
one. Nice one.
We have 375,000 views for Rock Show. Nice. 20 million views for Dave.
New record, 20 million.
Nice. Congratulations to Nate. See, that's another like Nico, but it's spelled differently. Nico Nation with 3,000 subscribers. How many more names can I butcher here? 6,000 views for Knitting with Betty. That one wasn't too bad. Bobo again with the 6.5 million. Let's
nice
see.
Work. I'll take over at this point now. Right. 475,000 views for Stoice. We have 200 subscribers for Hammy. 40,000 views for Jerry's son. Hang on, that's it. Is that it? We've got to the bottom of them. Yes, we have. Oh, poof. I thought there was even more, but these must have been from previous ones. All right, not as many as I thought. I thought we had like a 50 to do. But wow, that's still an incredible return on investment there. Congratulations. I think we can do another round of these. Yeah, you see somebody else has sent one in, which is the AI Kingdom, 3,000 subscribers. And we'll just do some more. So Kathy McLean, that's where we were up to. So we got these to do and more. Send them in. We'll try and do some quick shout outs later on. But I need to get my breath back right now. So Dan, we're going to audit another channel at this point, and they go by the name of 138 MMA, and this I'm going to say now is just the toughest, most terrifying avatar picture I've ever seen. I do not want to mess with this gentleman. Never.
So yeah, I picked this channel because I thought I enjoyed the channel focus, right? And they have 2.5 thousand subscribers, which is awesome. Over 200 videos. And they are staying incredibly focused on what they're doing, which is they are basically breaking down UFC matches. So if you are a fan of UFC, you're probably wanting to see somebody with a different insight break down these fights. I just saw them walking from a whiteboard when you scrolled over one of those.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's basically their setup.
That's
awesome.
Like that is an incredible amount of work they're putting into these, rather than just sitting there and talking. Like, you have props. That's awesome. And I assume stats. So you have like a deep knowledge of this, which is really, really cool. I think you'll notice something that I noticed immediately, and that's the very templated thumbnails.
Yeah.
And while I don't mind a thumbnail style that is repeatable, so people like see the branding in it, I don't love how busy the thumbnails look because of the chain link fence on all of them. And I wanted to see what other channels were doing in the UFC to see if we can like just give some thumbnail advice based on the niche.
How did
UFC breakdown, UFC 300 breakdown.
Yeah, okay. Let's try that, shall we?
Okay. So kind of as I suspected, the fighters are a bit larger in scale on the thumbnails. The text is nice and easy to read.
I wonder if maybe I have to do UFC match card. We're trying to find like a good template here for the like. I'm looking at something more like that.
Yeah,
just something a bit more artistic. Maybe the fighters' names, and you kind of leave it at that almost, or something kind of like here template. What fighters on each side, then like a strip of text in the middle. Something like that, or like just the looking brutishly at each other.
I know you are competing directly with the UFC channel.
Oh yeah,
there are other channels too that are still covering this. The other thing you could do is take one of the fighters and like maybe put an interesting stat next to them, kind of like we do. Like if we talk to a creator, we'll have like them on one side of the thumbnail, and then we'll have like a statistic about them, like 8 million subs and an arrow pointing. Is there an equivalent you can do in UFC where, you know, it mentions like how fast a knockout was or something to that effect? There's probably some other stuff. I would just play around a little bit. These are getting good views. I don't want you to deviate too much. If you try this once and it doesn't do well, like that's okay. But I would love to see what would happen if you got, you know, even deeper into the weeds with thumbnail design and tried it for a little bit, because you have 1,000 views on average right now. Could you have 2,000? Could you have 4,000? Like, I'd be very curious.
I'd love to pitch this over to John for him to tackle during our thumbnail live streams. But I guess what he would probably do is say, let's make these two people like the focus of the thumbnail. And so you bring them forward, you make them bigger. And then these bits here, you almost want these to just melt into the background. So like you would blur an image, or you just make it like a faded color of some kind. Do you need to be, does your logo need to be there? I'm not sure. The text is a little small, a little difficult to read. And at this point, I'm just scribbling on a thumbnail for the sake of it. But you kind of get how our analysis is going here. But Dan, another thing that you pointed out here, which is really interesting, is that this is a channel that relies very much on its timeliness. Like, this content is not evergreen content. The reason for that is because you're doing the predictions for a match and then the breakdown of a match afterwards. And so within a week's time, no one's going to be interested in this because we've moved on to the next fight and the next event. And so this idea of this somewhat simplistic setup that they have, which is basically him just writing down on a board, I guess the tail of a tape, so to speak. I think this is fine. This is economy of production for value of content. Yeah. I don't want them to replace this almost. Like this is kind of like the Sam Sulik, or like the authentic style of recording where you just want to talk to camera and share your love and passion for your hobby. And I don't want them to change that. I think this is cool. And your audience likes it because you're getting 1,200 views for this video and 1,000 views here. Like, you've got a consistent audience. So what Dan and I are kind of looking at here is focusing on the packaging more than anything else. But I tell you what, Dan, I think there might be somebody within the vidIQ family who knows a little bit more than you or me about UFC, who may be able to add a bit more to this. So let's boot him up and welcome in Travis95.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on?
Perfect timing.
It's a little known fact. I actually had one of the largest podcasts in MMA for a while. Most people don't know that.
How can it be a little known fact if it was one of the largest? I don't understand.
Because this was years ago. This was back. This was like, let's see, when was UFC 100? UFC 130? Like it was like 10 years ago or 15 years ago or something like that. So most of the people who are listening to it are dead now. Anyway, so.
Okay, good stuff there, Travis. This channel.
No, it's great. Listen, this is really big now. What's funny is I actually helped a couple of UFC fighters get their Twitters going years ago, and then if I was still in the thing, I would have told people like they're doing now to get their YouTubes going. What I'm seeing is a lot of fighters have now explosive YouTube channels, including actually WWE wrestlers as well are doing this now, where they're starting to throw videos on YouTube, starting getting explosive growth. But the rise of the analyst on YouTube is really there. This guy named MMA Guru who doesn't have a very like high-end setup for his setup, and he's just destroying views and such, and also is very well known now in kind of the MMA industry. So what's interesting is, while I could definitely see the thumbnails getting better, quite frankly, because this niche is still kind of new when you compare it to everything else, this is kind of what works at the moment. I would definitely look to try to make it better. I would want to stand out from everyone else. But I understand what they're going for here. And the fact that they're getting very consistent views is really good.
Long videos, so probably significant watch time as well. I would suspect that a lot of these types of channels rely and risk using footage from the sport itself. I don't think this channel's doing much of that at all, which again is fantastic for the longevity of the content.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like, how long have you been doing this?
Let's take a look. Their oldest video was
a year
less than 2 years ago. So
wow. Okay. And so they were kind of doing a little bit of everything. Dana White Contender Series, which is a lesser known, but it's still getting views on, which is kind of crazy. Because I don't know very many people at all. See, here's a smart thing. This person actually saw a real kind of hole in the industry. So Dana White Contender Series is a show that is streaming only. And Dana White is the president and CEO, or I don't even know if he's CEO now, but he's like the president of the UFC. And he does this show where he finds people who are not real.
It's this dude, right?
No, that's Joe Rogan. He looks somewhat similar if you're not familiar. But at any rate, they what's interesting is he has this little show. No one really talks about it in the kind of the ecosphere of everything. And this guy found, like, since no one was talking about it, like he did, which is really interesting, and he's getting good views on it considering like how small that show is. So that was really smart. And then it looks like he parlayed that into talking about the mainstream stuff. And you can do this in a lot of niches. You can do this for like football or something. If you're trying to break through into football, and there's a lot of great big football channels, you could do maybe the minor leagues of football where there are people who watch it and then kind of grow a little bit of momentum and following, and then switch over a little bit. And then people, the way YouTube works is it looks for people who are looking for similar things and watching similar things, and then it just puts them together. So that was pretty brilliant.
Using the community tab, they also have short. Well, maybe they haven't delved into shorts that much because there's not that many there. And do they do live stream reactions? Maybe it looks like they do live streams as well.
Smart too.
Around the events. I guess the one thing that I want to say is, from their oldest videos to their newest videos, the quality of thumbnails has remained completely flat, which is their meh. Like, maybe it's time to invest even into somebody on Fiverr or something, just to break them out of this template, which we think could be better at this point. But I think this channel is doing fantastic for where they are, the consistent views that they get each video, and the type of content they're creating for their audience. They've nailed it. Good job. Yep. All right. That is the final pre-selected channel. So it now means it's over to all of you. If you are new to this live stream, welcome to the CLAAAW. For the next hour, we will be randomly picking channels from the forums. Now, just before we move on, Dan, I hear that there has been a monumental upgrade in ChatGPT. So does that mean we're going to have a new and improved Claudia next week?
I could probably use the new model, but I don't. The way the thing is built, it won't be. Well, we'll see. I don't know. 11 Labs is the problem. It takes forever for the ChatGPT prompt to get to 11 Labs to speak, and that's the big issue.
Yeah, if everyone didn't see yesterday's announcement from OpenAI, which they have a YouTube channel, so you can go watch it. And I've been predicting this for a long time. AI is scary AF right now. Like it is, it's on a level that, and it's going to be exponentially faster and growing. It's insane.
So what I did there was pick out number 343, and so we will just audit this channel, and we will give you our best thoughts to a shorts channel called the TedBros, which is an outdoor channel. So this has unique challenges for us in that we can't really critique the thumbnails. Titles maybe become a bit more important. We may have to watch one of these shorts to get an idea of what they're about. But it's three brothers in the outdoors going on adventures. So they have spiky views. Some of them get hundreds, some of them get dozens, others get thousands. And it looks to me like they are basically at this point a fishing channel. No, that's not really fishing, is it? That's about hot wings. So we've got some really spiky views here. Let's try one of these. Let's go with the most recent video. And so they're using music from the YouTube tools, and we don't want to play that in case of copyright issues. And then they're just adding some text on top.
What's the tap the circle really fast thing?
The subscribe button is
that where it is
here on mobile?
Oh, I wonder if that's what it is. Yeah,
I'm really curious about that.
Or maybe they're guessing where that's going to be on the phone.
And then the other one's the like button, the arrow.
Yeah, that would be down the right hand side, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I wonder how often they're doing that in their videos. Let's check this one. Whoa. All right. What do we think?
I think they get into the action pretty quickly. I'm just going to base off the second one. The other one seems kind of silly. But the second one we saw, it seems like it got into the action really quick. If I'm scrolling through shorts and I enjoy fishing, I'll probably stop to watch and see how that plays out. I kind of wonder if that one was too short. You know, it kind of cut from the struggle to like them, I think, releasing the fish or something at the end.
It's almost as if you need to watch these twice to try and understand what's going on. But because they're so short, like less than 10 seconds, you're willing to do that?
I think that's actually part of the strategy if you think about it. Because as you know, like AVD has to be really high on shorts for them to kind of work. And if YouTube sees someone watching it 2 or 3 times just because they don't understand what the hell's going on, it's like 300% retention. It's like, oh, okay.
See, this one has a bit more like intrigue and jeopardy, but I'm really scared as to what they're actually going to find. I'm just going to pause it there.
Is it like toothpaste? I don't know.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Looks like the later, or are you on popular? No, you're on latest. It looks like lately the shorts have been doing a bit better.
Yeah. This is one where it's actually, I think, them. No.
All right, the first thing you find
so they do use YouTube sounds all of the time, and in this one, even it's the most viewed one, the music is just overpowering the narration for me. But you know, when we look at a shorts channel which has like 50 videos, and they're already getting tens of thousands of views on some of these videos, they must be doing something right. And I don't want to discourage them from continuing to do that. I think maybe a bit of polish needs to be applied here and there.
The shorts channels that I tend to be really into are ones that do something a lot. So one of my favorites right now, it's this channel called Trevor Cook Show. And This guy makes pizza. He's really funny. And I watched like 2 of his shorts, and then I went and watched his entire back catalog because I just thought this dude's personality was hilarious, and it was always the same bit of him making a weird pizza.
Right.
What's really unique about them is like he's got like a specialized pizza oven, and he takes it super seriously, but he's doing really silly things. And so I think that's just advice for any short channel. Like if what you do is interesting and repeatable, and people can go, I like this. Does the creator have more? That's your best bet in shorts. And this creator seems to be doing something to that effect with the fishing. If you continue to do fish content and it's doing well for you, people are like, oh wow, they catch a lot of fish. This is really impressive. I want to see what else they've done. But if it feels a bit random, like sometimes they're fixing dents in hydro flasks and sometimes they're fishing, that's going to be a little bit harder to like build, just like any channel, building like a consistent audience.
So repeatable fishing events, stories, stakes, Jeopardy type of, or memes might be a bit of a series to go with down there.
Yeah.
Right, let's move on to the next channel. We move from long gaming to gaming to mix things up because we know there's a lot of gaming channels that submit, which is why it has its own separate form. And so we change the number every time to pick out one that's actually in the form. 194 is your next.
Did Old Man Gib give away a lot of memberships again?
Oh yeah, we hadn't gotten back to super chats in a bit.
Yeah, we'll get
I just saw that. I'm like, what is this guy? He looks like Santa Claus and he acts like Santa Claus. What is going on here?
Right, let's get back to a gaming channel. And they are JrzyRae Digs. Hang on a second. Hang on. This does not look like a gaming channel to me. It's because I picked out the wrong number. All right. I made a mistake. We'll have to audit this channel, but I did make a mistake. I did it on the wrong form, so we'll do that one next. So we'll pick the gaming form that I actually was supposed to do first. But I'll keep that one
job,
right, so, yeah, I know. So let's just do that. All right, yeah, fine, whatever. LaughingClouds approaching 1,000 subscribers. I want to be, Dan. Okay, they're stating their intent to you. They want to be a variety gaming channel. So I play pretty much everything, and they are succeeding.
Yeah. Okay. So you know what's interesting is I saw Variety Gaming Channel on their forum post. So they're really trying to be clear. Like, I do not want you to tell me to play one game. All right, fine. Let's see how you're doing playing multiple games. They're not doing too bad. What's the one thing you guys notice about this channel without even focusing on anything in particular? It's the very bold, very colorful thumbnails using nice, easy to read text, similar colors, similar theme. So the thumbnails have a through line. Yeah. I assume the content has a through line. Let's see. Can you beat Elden Ring changing your character each boss? Fallout New Vegas, but I'm a psychopath. I became a wrestler, but I have the worst luck. Elden Ring, but I broke the game with mod. Okay, they do have a through line because they are chaotically playing whatever game they want. So no, you are not a variety gaming channel. You are a channel with a specific focus. It just happens to be that the game is not that focus. It's the way you play the game, which is what I've been preaching for like ever now.
So just repeat that, Dan. The through line here, what was it? Chaotically playing different video games. That's a through line.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about niching down, and some people think, well, that just means I can only play one game, or I have to talk about this beauty products, etc., etc. A niche can be an idea and a concept.
Yes.
And that's what Dan's identified here. And Dan's identified it in about 45 seconds of looking at that channel, which means that the audience get it as well.
I see the consistency. Less than 1,000 subscribers, often getting way more views than their subscribers. They're onto something here. And if you watch my latest How to Start a Gaming Channel video from this year, you'll see that I've ditched the advice of play one game, because you can do that and you maybe want to do that to start, but like, what is your channel's through line? And the through line can be one game, but what happens when that game falls out of favor? What happens when Elden Ring is not what people are playing anymore? That is going to need to be addressed. So how do you play the game? I can buy Elden Ring and just play it quietly in my living room. And if that's what you're doing in your videos, that's not super entertaining, but this channel is taking it to the next level. They're using mods, they're doing challenges, and that is why people watch.
It's interesting that you talked about the through line as literally the person we talked to on the Boost show, which I think is going to be this Thursday. She says she bounces between different things. She doesn't really have a niche, but it's because she has established the overall meaning of the channel, and everything kind of connects through this one idea. that she's been able to do things that have nothing to do with each other and still get tons of views. So it's cool that this channel came up, because it is possible. It's hard.
Yes.
You know, you have to really be creative and you have to think it through. And then as you're making the content, you have to like then do that thing that you realize figured out. And sometimes it's hard to just remember all that and keeping it together. But in this particular case, they did a great job. And I would even be interested in watching some of this stuff, because it's just interesting enough, just different enough that it's like, oh, let me see what's going on here.
I think we'll watch a hook of one of these in a second. Two things I wanted to just point out then is, Dan, although, yes, they can have this through line of playing in different games, is it still worth saying to yourself as a creator, hey, Helldivers was trending massively for a few weeks and continued to, with the recent scandal around it, maybe they could have done more than a couple of videos on that topic around the time, but then being able to move on to something else. And then the other side of the coin is, okay, so who are the other operators in this space who I can maybe mine for formats and ideas? So obviously I'm thinking about Spiff and Brit as another obvious one, but who else, Dan, could this creator maybe take inspiration from?
Let's Game It Out is my #1 example in these cases. Every video seems to be a different game just about over on that channel, and he's got it down pat. Like even the style of thumbnail, even though he's playing different games, something about, because he always builds things that are really chaotic, and so his thumbnails aren't super zoomed in characters. They're usually zoomed out of this incredibly weird structure he's built, for example. So it is just like, it's about finding the creators that resonate the most with what you're doing. And for me, when I look at this channel, I think Let's Game It Out, even though they are playing games not the same way that Josh from that channel does it, but there's definitely a through line here. They're not just playing Elden Ring. And I just want to make that clear for gaming channels out there who want to mimic this. I want to be a variety gaming channel too. Okay, then stop focusing on the game part. Focus on the ideas and what makes each of these videos run together. Why would I watch your Elden Ring video and then your Fallout New Vegas video back to back? It's because of what you're going to bring to it. It's not just you playing Fallout. It's you playing Fallout a certain way or doing a certain thing, something like that.
I've just realized that's the extent of their long form content so far.
Yeah.
Like 16, well,
so
13
how
videos.
long? What was the oldest one? So 7 months. They had a lot of success with their first video. And then every video after that's got 3,000 views. Like they're doing excellent. And this is not even a year's worth of progress. And they're almost 1,000 subscribers. You know,
all right, Dan,
they went into this channel with a lot of intent.
Pick one of these videos. Let's watch the first 20 seconds.
And this is the latest one.
All right. Oh, just a second. Let's rewind that and start again.
While I'm creating my starting character in the background, I have to explain to you guys what we're doing today. The plan is pretty simple. Every time I kill a boss, I change my character. So I can go from squabbling with Spider-Man to doing crazy attacks with Sasuke. So this is Cricket, our starting character.
We're like, hey, a gaming channel, no problem. Let's do the first one. La da da. Couldn't do Star Wars or something. Got a big naked guy with the T-pose. Good job, Dad. Clip of the week right there. Appreciate it.
He was covered in the most important part.
Yeah, but that's hilarious though. That's really funny.
That was 11 seconds, and they crammed
a
monumental amount into that 11 seconds.
I get the whole video. The fact that you put Spider-Man in there tells me, like, oh, yep, just like the thumbnail said, you're doing modded characters, and this is going to be wild. It's going to be totally different experience every single boss fight. Like, it was funny. You definitely like have us laughing, and like I'm interested. I'm hooked. I want to see the rest of that video play out.
Congratulations on 1,000 subscribers within a week. And given the length of your videos and probably the watch time you get, you can't be far off monetization as well.
From frame one, he was already into the content. I think that's really important. Like he wasn't like, hey guys, welcome to my channel, blah, blah. He was doing something, goes, while I'm doing this thing, let me explain to you what's going on, which is a really interesting storytelling thing. Yeah.
No one wants to watch you build your character in one of these games. It's so boring. But if you can make it entertaining like that channel did, it works.
Yeah. All right, then let's move on to the next channel. This one sneaked in because I accidentally picked it. It is JrzyRae Digs, but they've also just hit 1,000 subscribers. So congratulations to you. And very clearly from the channel banner and from the thumbnails, they are a metal detecting channel, which is cool. There's like a storytelling element already plugged into the channel in the discovery of things, the rareness of things, or the challenge of, or like the agonizing wait, so on. Like, this is ready-made YouTube content in that sense. But what about the videos themselves?
Wasn't there like a time, and I could be wrong, but I seem to remember it's JrzyRae. Actually, it's what JrzyY, JrzyRae. Wasn't there a time when metal detecting was like a big niche or something? I've seemed to remember something. Maybe it was during COVID or something. I don't remember. It seemed like
could have been. Could have been.
So I wonder if in doing this, like the metal detecting reality checks, like if you could show kind of what you found, but maybe blur it or something like that. Nothing wrong with having your face in there or something, but like a lot of the times it's just kind of like I found nothing, which is okay, I guess. But the problem is, do I want to watch a video where you didn't find anything, a boring video? Weirdly, it kind of worked better. Look at the views on it compared. I've always wanted to test this. So like 223 compared to like it's around the same thing, which is interesting. Sounds to me like you have a dedicated audience, but if you want to break out beyond that audience, maybe a little intrigue would be helpful.
It's like you're leaning into the banality of the video and say, it's like, you know, Liam Nielsen in Naked Gun. There's nothing to see here. Please disperse. Nothing to see.
Yeah.
Dan, what are your thoughts?
There's like the thing I want to say, which is going to be a bit brutal. I like that they tried a video where like nothing found, but because what I want to say is, hey, show me what you found or tease what you found in each of these rather than just, hey, I'm at a location. I'm going to click because you found something of intrigue. But if you didn't find anything, should that video be posted? Like, unless something interesting happened in it, like you're wondering if you got stalked in one of them. Like, okay, well, that's a little bit different. But like in general, if you didn't find anything, should you have posted? Should you maybe have not gone back the next day and kept looking in another spot? Like, I think that's what's going to make these videos take off, is like once you really get something. But yeah, I guess as we scroll through, maybe there's an example of that where they found something really unique. Rare find. Okay. I like their new thumbnails better, I think.
Yeah, they're definitely improved thumbnails, which is good to see. They're getting simpler and more easy to understand. This is sort of the most popular.
Metal detecting event. That's interesting.
And then finding Civil War relics. So that was something more identifiable in the thumbnail. Yeah, I feel as if there's a lack of intrigue and curiosity in the packaging, or the packaging's overdone. Like I look at this one where it feels as if it's kind of over-explained, the idea that they've maybe been caught, or like, do you need to ask this as a question? Do we have like, is that person this person? And do you need to be kind of shocked in that way? Would it be better if it was the whole scene was in frame rather than like you being a cutout? Caught on camera, secretly recorded while metal detecting. I feel as if there's a cleaner, more impactful way to package that. And I'm just trying to think very quickly of how I might do it. What might we do here instead?
So you could take the person that you're accusing of stalking in this case, make them more of the focus on the thumbnail, but blur out their face or something. So it's a little more like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they need to be in there too. I think just the picture of you in the distance, if that is you, like that could be the other side of the thumbnail. So, and then like text could be not as emphasized. There's just a few, like this is a John job for sure, but like a few adjustments could make that a little more intriguing for sure. There's something else I was going to say, and I forgot what it was. I think I was just going to reiterate that I'm less concerned about the location in these videos and more concerned with like maybe why you're there and what you might be able to find at these locations.
Just doing a quick search on YouTube for what other people have been talking about when it comes to metal detecting. I mean, maybe it's that type of thing where you show the results, like what, like that gets me intrigued. Just the point of view of the frame. I'm like, oh, you found an Apple Watch while metal detecting. That's interesting. I know you're not going to have as big a haul as that all the time, but that creates the intrigue immediately.
Oh yeah. Look how many views that had too. It was wild.
Yeah,
7 million
7.5
views.
million, I think. Yeah.
So, and I get that channel has a lot of subscribers, but it's still, you can't argue with like, hey, the video is very intriguing. If you scroll up a little bit, there's an outlier.
Sorry.
It's okay. There's an outlier that's really interesting. I don't know if you can find it now.
It's not different results now. It's an entirely different set of results.
No, that's okay.
How did I manage to do that?
Wait, scroll back up. Like, were you at the top of the page?
Maybe I wasn't. Okay.
Scroll. Okay, I found it again, but now you've passed it again.
You guys
This is just a live stream of Dan trying to direct me where to go on as I browse through the web.
Okay, wait. Up. That one with the gold. Why do you keep doing this to me? The pinnacle of beach metal detecting. I just wanted to see how many subscribers. 31,416,000 views. That's all I was trying to point out.
That's an outlier.
Again, it was an example of like, ooh, look at all the shiny things they found, and they got way more views than their subscriber count.
100%.
So some ideas for packaging, titling, formats there as well for our hero channel to take a look at. But yeah, thank you for the submission, even though you kind of got snuck in through the back route through my incompetence. But yeah, you got the channel audit. So I think it might be time to do the rest of the super chats before we get too far into the stream. And so let me do that. Press a button that allows us to get the music playing. And we'll find out now, Travis, how many memberships we're giving out. The first super chat, though, is Jared Foils. I got an idea for your idea tool. It was so absurd, so I'm making it very tongue-in-cheek. Why no dumb button on ideas after you save them?
It's a good question.
That's a good suggestion.
Because when you do it, instead of like deleting it or saying not, it's actually a really good suggestion. We'll have to say, let's give that information to the.
I've screenshotted it, and I'm going to throw it into our product team just after the next couple of super chats. So this one comes from Grey Ghost Gamers. Are you ready to have Dan be speechless again?
Sounds threatening.
What's
Yeah.
that about?
I don't know.
Don't know. We'll have to
They're
wait
just out here
and
threatening
see
people
on that one. Aspen Ashy's been a member for 2 months, and some sad news here that their father has passed away. We're very sad to hear that.
Sorry about that.
We just want to say that the whole, we wish you all the best, and yeah, our thoughts and prayers are with you on that one. Heroes.
Why Grey Ghost Gamer said that, by the way.
Sorry.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Heroes TV Japan. My shorts were doing great with every video, but now it's really dropped, and growth of subs has become really slow. What's the problem you think I have?
It could be a lot of things. It could be that you have taken, whatever topic to the nth degree, and people are not as excited about it anymore. It could be that the videos you're making now just aren't as interesting as the other ones were. It could be seasonality. It could be the things you were making before had a season that made sense for them. It could be a lot of things. I wish that we could tell you more. It's very hard to know, though. Yeah,
difficult to answer. I was thinking seasonality, just as an example. This probably isn't what's happened, but there's something in Europe called the Eurovision Song Contest. Dan and Travis, I don't know if that gets over to America, but that event happened on Saturday. So there's been a lot of build-up, probably, millions of views generated around that event. But once you passed it, that's it. We're done until next year. And so that could be one of the reasons as well. So yeah, Travis, you mentioned here, goodness gracious, old man Gib, just throwing out the memberships. That now means that whoever is lucky enough to get these memberships, I still have no idea how these are dished out, but you can use the custom emojis. And we say every single week, Dan, that we're going to get some more emojis done, and we never get around to it. But
what I want to do, at the very least for the boost, is I want to do the membership premiere thing where the day before members can watch the video first. So I think I'm going to do that with the next video I release, I think.
There's also this one. That was where we were going to get.
Right, well, hang on. That deserves this one. That one. Are we going to have a vidIQ membership giveaway off now between Grey Ghost Gamers and
I know, that's crazy.
Just be careful what you do with your money.
We really just need to do more
for.
We just need to do more for members, and I think like doing the early release video things and stuff is at least one thing. Maybe behind the scenes stuff with Rob Wilson. I mean, no one cares about us.
Who knows? Maybe we introduce tiers and we go wild with memberships.
Neela Pakshi, I have a geopolitics channel. Production takes 3 to 4 days, and I'm looking to shift to reacting to news as it's quicker. The current channel has 1,400 hours, 1,000 subs. Help. So we just talked about that UFC channel that really doesn't put any time into like production values, editing. The quality is in the value of themselves and what they're delivering to camera. So take that as a bit of inspiration that you don't need to have uber high production values. It really depends on what the audience watches. And for news, I mean, yeah, you probably do need to have some production values because there needs to be a certain element of credibility to the value of the content. But yeah, you don't, if you're realizing that you're putting far too much time, energy, and resources into something that doesn't really give you any valuable output, then yeah, let's reduce the editing time, the filming time, and just focus on you being in front of camera or however you want to present and giving value to your audience. So now we get to some of the members who are joining, presumably through these gifted memberships, and they get sound effects, custom ones each week. That's one of them. And then we get a super chat from JrzyRae. I want to do something for subscribers when I get to 1,000. What do people usually do for that? Ideas?
So people usually will make like a whole video, right? And I don't like that because there's no like, that's mostly for you, right? Your audience is like, good for you, I guess. I like to do that within the content. So if you're making a video anyway, and you just take a second to mention, by the way, we just hit 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. That's probably enough for your audience. You could also do a live stream. That could be like a fun, like a Q&A, you know, and that way you're not interrupting your regular content flow. Those are my suggestions, mostly because when I see someone post like, hey, 500 subs, 1,000 subs, I'm like, I'm glad they got that, but I know what the video, like I know the video isn't really for me. It's not their regular content. You know what I mean?
And then a follow-up question, although this looks to me like just AI just thrown into the middle of a super chat here. The biggest hurdle for AI's continued growth is energy. Human-like AI would take the equivalent of Canada's entire annual energy consumption to train.
Well, I will say this. Apparently, they already used Canada's entire energy consumption, because if you watch the videos from yesterday, they're kind of there. Like, again, every time there's an update from OpenAI, it is a generational leap. It's not just, oh, they added this little thing, like your new iPhone has a new little app. It's not that. They are, the speed in which AI is growing, I've been saying this for a long time, is going to be exponential to anything we've ever in the world, in the life of history of humans have ever experienced. It is so fast. If you watch those videos from yesterday, your mind is going to fall out of your head through your eyes.
What a thought. Old Man Gib with a question this time. When putting a sponsored ad in a video, where in a video is the best place to add it? In the beginning, middle, or end? Thanks a million.
This is an interesting question, because a lot of times, at least nowadays, sponsors tell you. It's not even like you have a choice in the matter. You can sometimes push back, but quite frankly, like they're pretty much going to tell you, you want the money? Okay, this is where it goes. And for the most part, they want it earlier because they've figured out that more people are at the beginning of the video than anywhere else in the video. So they don't, you know, for the most part, are going to say that's where we want it, and rightfully so if they're paying you. So when you're talking about them, just here, give this product to you and whatever, like they're going to tell you.
Yep.
I just want to mention this. It doesn't really matter, I think, where you put the advert, because whoever encounters the advert typically is just going to skip it. Like, viewers are not stupid. They can sniff adverts. So maybe the better question is, how do I do a better integrated ad? And I just want to share this channel. It's called J Foreman. They do really informational, entertaining, comedic videos about maps from typically around the UK, London, that type of thing. And the way they do their adverts, like for NordVPN, like all of a classic style of branded ads, they do it in such a unique, like episodic entertainment way that you actually want to watch the ad itself.
Yeah.
So watch that channel and some of their adverts and see how they do it, because a significant amount of time goes into the ad itself as well as the video. Instead of like, if they're not just reading a card, they're making it something really intriguing and interesting and funny.
I'll say Drew Gooden as well. When he does ads, there a lot of them that are at the end. He's managed to get his deals so they come at the end of the video, but he always does them as a sketch. It's not just him reading HelloFresh copy. It's like literally he plays characters, and so it's harder to click away because you're like, I know it's an ad, but this is kind of funny. Like more work has been put into it.
All right, Travis, this one must be for you, so I'm going to put you full screen, and it comes from Mr. Horror Documentaries, and it is, why are you so cute?
I wake up earlier than I should. Honestly, I get up before I really should be on any live stream, and and then it goes downhill from here. It really, I start at the top, and now we're here.
And then we've got one more super chat, which is kind of linked to what we're going to do now, which is Heroes TV Japan. I just posted congratulations from vidIQ on X. I hope you put in a hashtag, because it's only going to come up if you've used the correct hashtag. So goodness me, Travis, we kind of dug a monumental shout out hole for ourselves, and we asked people to share their certificate celebrations through vidIQ milestones. So if I
remember when we
refresh
did
this, I promised I would read all of them out. So that's what we've got to do. Hang on, has nobody done any for a while? Oh, we might not have that many to do.
Or it could just be X being broken again, as it usually is.
32 minutes. Well, we'll read them all out. So Philip Hawkins, with almost 1 million views on their channel now. We have the Royal Shell 38 with 225,000 views. Dan, who's next?
Respawn Airsoft with 1,000 subscribers.
This is truly dreadful music, but I'm going to have to live with it. Dan, who's next?
Neon Nerds with both 750 subscribers and 650,000 views.
Beautiful stuff. Travis, you're next. We have...
It looks like it's D Habazal Dance Hall with 225,000 views.
Oh, and we've already had that one, haven't we? So you're right. I think it has broken a bit. AI Kingdom. We didn't do that one. So who's this, Travis?
Listen, one of my favorite all-time television shows, A Good Times, but it's A Good Times Productions, 1,500 subscribers. Congrats.
And that's who we started with a little earlier. So you got all of your milestones in early, which is good work. That's what we like, because we're not going to do any more shout outs for... So where was Heroes TV? They did say they sent us one, but I'm not seeing it here.
Here's the thing. When I say that X is broken a lot of times, I will have people mention me on X and it doesn't come up. The only reason I see it is because I see someone reply to their thing. And if I look at my mentions, it's not even there. So it's just broken. Elon be tripping.
The Ink Compass by Isabel Duffels, 850 subscribers. We've got Court Slay with, did we do that one? 3,000 subscribers, 650,000 views. And that's it. I'm gonna call it there. And so we will just do a bit of cleanup here, remove that. Dan, where on earth did that music come from?
This music?
All right. Yeah, you can stop that music now, right? So I was just trying to figure out what was going on there, because like it's not on StreamYard, so I didn't know where the music was coming from.
Stardew Valley.
Okay. No. Is it a bit like this music? Oh yeah.
Yeah, only not as copyright issue, because he said, you know, people can use his music, and that what you're using probably doesn't have the same attribution.
Well, we'll find out in about 20 minutes. Anyway, we'll audit some more channels right now, because we've still got a bit of time, but I need to check where we are on the numbers. So, non-gaming wise, we're at 538. So, if I go to my claw and type said number in, and then pick out a ball from a pit, we have 61.
Speaking of Claw, was the Iron Claw or whatever the movie is on Max. I'm gonna go watch that after I get caught up on X-Men 97.
It sounds like it's not actually a bad wrestling movie, doesn't it?
I hear it's great.
Worth watching. Yeah. Who knew that Kerry Von Erich wrestled with an amputated foot for...
I knew about it. I remember hearing about it years ago, but it's one of those things that he didn't tell anybody. So it was like a rumor.
Oh, we need a wrestling podcast, you and I, Travis.
Let's do it. Let's do it next week.
Right.
The channel reviews?
Wrestling.
Wider. Coming up to 700 subscribers. This channel is all about things Can-Am Spider. Presumably that is a...
That's like the little motorcycles with 3 tires.
Yeah, 3-wheeler bikes. What are they called?
Spiders. That's a spider. That's what it's a Can-Am Spider. That's
But is that the type of vehicle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I've always wanted to try one. They look fun.
So with 700 subscribers, each time they publish a video, or at least the last 4, have been outliers. So they're on fire when it comes to producing content. They just don't produce that much content, maybe once a week, I would say at this point. And I'm getting Canva template vibes only because I'm sure I've seen that kind of background and that type of text on many a Canva template. But it's not on all of them. It looks as if this creator starts from scratch whenever they create a new thumbnail, which means that they all look very different. But it's not impacting the channel yet.
How many?
The videos are performing well in spite of a thumbnail.
How many subscribers does the channel have again? I'm just curious.
Just 700.
Wow, and they're getting over 1,000 every time they throw something out. That's really, I mean, for the most part, that's great. I'm noticing that a lot of it's around. So like the review, the CarPlay thing, I have one of those before my car, but update CarPlay. So I noticed that like the CarPlay thing seems to get a little play there. The PowerPort. So a lot of the things about the actual technology with having one of the spiders was working for them. It's almost like a review channel in a way, which is good. That's not a bad thing at all. As a matter of fact, review channels can come across other ways to monetize their channel before they hit 1,000 subscribers, just by like affiliate sales and like sponsorship, like we talked about before. So it's actually, from the perspective of that, it's actually probably a smart way to go.
Yeah, they've got some affiliate links in there, which is good to see. So this is a business before it becomes a YouTube AdSense generator. Awesome stuff. Yeah.
And some people will say, you know, depending on the creator, they're like, I'm not as worried about that. I just want to be famous, or I want to have a lot of views. Here's the thing. What you really want to be able to do 9 times out of 10 is to not have to go to work and flip that burger that you hate. And if you have a couple of videos that help completely exchange all of the money you made from your job, and you can just do whatever you want, this is what you want. So setting it up before that, setting your monetary goals up before, like, oh, I want to be a big YouTuber, is actually a smarter way to get there.
I mean, given that this channel is solely on one product, one vehicle, it's quite easy to just do a search on YouTube and say, you know, what are the outliers for other channels and stuff? Let's just kind of remake those videos in my own voice, my own opinion, my own point of view.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of ways to spin this channel. I think right now you look at what's working and figure out other ways to slice the onion, so to speak.
Dan, will I do a quick keyword research on this? Anything to add from yourself?
I've been trying to think of different ideas for the channel. Like the reviews were doing well. I think the lifestyle could be something that people are just curious about. Kind of like when you think van life, for example, but this person has a unique vehicle. Not a lot of people have these vehicles. So what else can you show them? What adventures can you take your audience on? That could be pretty or
because what's already working on his channel is how to upgrade it or fix it. So you could always continue down that path. Yeah. Like what cool things can you buy for it, or if something breaks, how to fix it.
When new ones come out, like even if you don't buy them, could you test drive them? Could you just talk about like why you're not getting one, or why this is like something you want to get in the future?
So there's comparison videos that I can do here, and more conversation about the different accessories that I can get for the vehicle and stuff.
You know what car has like a really big culture is like the Mazda Miata, and I kind of wonder if they should look into different car cultures to see like just to trend jack a little bit, like see what things those different fandoms are doing with their vehicles.
That's interesting. That's a good idea.
So I would say this creator is already they have their channel focus, they have their target audience. Thumbnail packaging could be better. Could they maybe increase the output a little bit? Because every single video that they publish for the size of a channel, they get thousands of views. The audience is hungry for more. They would watch the content if they were able to put it out there. They just seem to be able to only manage one video a week at the moment. So like I said, Travis, it comes to a point where can sacrifices be made? Can they find more time to put into their channel? Because it is successful for where it is.
Yeah. I mean, they released something 13 hours ago. It looks like I would love to see more come out. I think you're going to see really good growth in if you continue down this path. So maybe come back here in a year and let's take a look and see where you are from
good idea. Good idea. Next number for a gaming channel is 268. And we are looking at a channel that is so close to 2,000 subscribers. And I want to say Tekken, like the video game.
Oh yeah, huh?
Oh, it is, because it is about it.
That's funny.
Like, just
as someone who's huge,
misspelt it. I don't know.
Yeah, as someone who's huge into Tekken, this is a really interesting channel for me because I've been to a lot of the creators that are doing Tekken content at the moment. It is weird that they spelled it that way. I don't know if they did that as like a play on things. The problem is, it may not be a problem if you search for it, but generally speaking, if you're a smaller channel, someone try to spell it that way and try to find your channel because they're like, oh, it's Tekken Armory, and they try to spell it and they spell it right and it doesn't come up, then you lose out. But that's fine. So yeah, Tekken 8 came out like 3-4 months ago or so, and it's a fantastic game. It's super popular. I'm seeing channels blow up that are doing really good content, and they're going to add a photo mode so that you can do really cool thumbnails. But these thumbnails are pretty good. But they're going to add a photo mode that the creators will be able to use to make even better thumbnails. And this is the type of content that's working really well for a lot of creators. It's like punishment guides, how to do certain combos, like character guides, that sort of stuff works really well, especially if you're good at doing it. Now, the one thing is there's a couple of really, like, there's pros out there making this content too. So if you're going to make content about this stuff, you got to bring something to the table. Like, your stuff has got to be pretty darn good. I like these. I like this with the gifts.
I'm just. Do you think these are a bit too busy? Like, you almost have to spend too long looking at them.
I needed to say not option 1, but like I want to know what the move is called.
Yeah. So the thing is, you'd have to, if you knew what it, if you know, then you know. So I actually like this. Which move is not a plus on block? That's actually like a cool trivia thing. Like, that's kind of dope. I've never seen anything like that before. So there's some really interesting stuff going on. Click on one of these. I'm just curious what it looks like compared to other things I've seen.
Oh, when the heck do I get to move? No, please stop. No.
That's hilarious. Okay. Is that an AI voice though? Or?
I didn't get any of that. What just
No,
happened?
I totally get it's if you know, you know. That was actually really funny. Play a little bit more. I just want to hear if that's an AI voice or not.
Are you whoring?
Okay, we're playing the Tekken music. That's cool. That's our intro.
Hey there, it's Lena from the Tekken Armory. This is just going to be a quick video for you guys to recognize.
Yeah, it is
AI.
Voice, right?
Yeah,
which is unfortunate because here's the problem. Here's the problem with that. There are so many personalities in the Tekken community right now that you should just. I don't understand why some people don't want to do their voice. Maybe for the most part, the best understanding I've ever heard when someone says they don't want to do this, they don't speak English as like the first language. Okay, fine, fair. But if you do, and you really want to grow in this, I'm really going to suggest, because I watch a lot of this content, so I know what's kind of working right now. If you don't want to show your face, fine, but you got to use your voice. Like, it looks like you have some really good skills here and you understand the meta that's going on right now. You need to have your own, you need to lend your own voice to this. And if there's a reason why you're not, I would love to understand what it is. But a channel like this is going to do well regardless, but you could do so much better if you learn that intro was really funny for people who know. And if your voice was in it, it wasn't like an AI trying to scream, which was kind of weird and a little off-putting. It would have been really funny. So I suggest you start using your voice. Everything else about this is in line with the stuff that I've been seeing.
Dan, any final thoughts?
I'm glad Travis here,
taking your crown as a gaming expert.
I would have had to do some searches, and I'm glad Travis was here to give a little more detail because I don't play games like this. And it's also cool to learn there's going to be a photo mode. I do hope. I like these thumbnails. There's nothing inherently wrong with them, but I do feel like they're a bit basic. And getting that photo mode, like if you can showcase the actual moves you're trying to like talk about, like there's probably a lot of room for improvement here. So yeah, overall, fantastic channel. Love to see the views it's getting, and I love that they understand, as Travis said, the meta behind this. completely agree in the AI voice as well. Very off-putting. You're using the VTuber, which is fine, very well accepted in gaming now, but I've never seen a VTuber with an AI voice.
Yeah.
That's like 2 layers of separation from your actual personality at that point, and it's harder to get, invested at that, at that stage.
Yeah.
Good feedback there. Yeah, there's a local tournament going on this weekend. I'm going to go watch.
Nice.
It'll be fun. I'm excited.
This is going to be frontier gibberish, but the last
thing I want
to do is watch anybody else play a video game.
Anyone who plays Tekken 8 in the chat here that wants me to run their fade, let me know.
What the hell are you talking about?
See, listen, I know the terminology. I know the terminology.
When you guys talk about wrestling, that's how I feel.
What on earth is going on here? Well, sorry, what did you just say, Dan?
When you guys talk about
wrestling, it doesn't matter what you just said.
Okay. All right. I'll leave.
I thank you. Right. JTD Outdoors, 8,000 subscribers with 250 videos. Okanagan, good old BC there. Beautiful part of the Canada. And it looks like bushcraft, outdoors, survival type of content. There have been many channels that have done that in the past. So, what should we take from this one?
The Rory Borealis. That happened out by me. I didn't see any of it.
They do have these occasional outliers, which tend to be reviews of, I guess, tents mostly. Mm-hmm. That's where they have the most successful videos. Typically.
Yeah, is this a review channel or a lifetime channel or a lifestyle channel?
I think it's
a little bit of both.
A bit of both, I would say. A bit of both.
And nothing wrong with that. I think here's the thing. I think it's important to if you want to do one thing, but there's no like easy monetization aspect to it. So in other words, like the lifestyle aspect, which there is, but most people don't see it. Mixing in things like reviews is a good thing. So the outdoor lifestyle and then showing what you use is a good strategy for a number of reasons. Number one, if you're doing reviews of products, when people search them later, they can find your channel when they maybe wouldn't have found it at all otherwise. And then also, like we talked about, there's chances for monetization through like affiliate sales. Like if you review a specific knife, like they're showing there an axe, if you have affiliate links, that's free money.
What I haven't seen yet is like a listicle or a compilation or a versus type of review video. They seem to review everything independently.
Mm-hmm.
So I might want to see something along the lines of the best 5 survival attempts for winter, the best 5 survival attempts for summer, that type of thing, to not reuse your content, but I guess you can only review products when you have them. It doesn't mean you don't have to review this product once. You can review it in multiple ways, and that might be an opportunity for more content around that. But yeah, it does look like when they're doing journeys and trips, like the cascading trail here to some waterfall and a hot coffee on a big hike, those tend to perform less well. And so like the journey, the experience, the storytelling perhaps doesn't work as well as the utility reviews at this point.
Yeah, I think when you're going to a cool place like that, you could focus on something like how long it took you to get there, some kind of challenge you had to overcome. And that inherently sparks in a viewer's mind, like, oh, a story is going to be told. And you already kind of want to know and see how it plays out.
Just wondering where the other subscribers have come from.
A lot of videos.
I thought that might be the case. I thought they would have maybe one or two shorts that have gone viral, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that.
A lot of videos seem like there's a survival element to them, but they're very product focused. Mm-hmm. And so I would encourage them to look at other channels that are doing the more survival style content if that's what they're interested in doing. Because when you're just relying on the product, now you're relying on an inherent interest from the viewer that I want to go camping as well. I want to buy different products. I want to see how they perform. But there's a lot of people who would watch this who don't want to go camping. And I worry you might be missing out on some views, depending on the type of video, of course.
Let's try and fit in a couple more channels. This is going to be a gaming one, so I need to check my numbers. 4, 3, 4. And the number is 222. Nothing suspicious about that whatsoever. 222. Fleenbery. We're getting quite a few channels, gaming channels that are established. This one has, I think, nearly 4,000 subscribers. And I'm seeing Flight Simulator stuff in the thumbnails. I don't know what game it is.
Is that browser-based flight sim game? Or...
I mean, that is the type of thumbnail I want to see. What's going on there? Is that like a 2,000-seater jet with 4 wings and 8 engines? Looks funny.
Will it fly? Okay, PTFS is like the I remember that acronym, so I think there is like a couple different flight sims they're doing. Oh, no, that's just Roblox. Got it. It is just Roblox.
Oh, this is a Roblox flight simulator.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, cool.
Okay, so and then I like the latest videos seem to be a pretty big success there. Your dares are insane, flight sim dares. So people are challenging you to do stuff and you're doing it. And then before that, GeoGuessr.
What is that?
GeoGuessr is like a game people play where you get a picture of something and then you have to try and guess exactly where it is on the entire globe. And yeah, it's very popular. And I love that you took a trend like GeoGuessr and brought it to your niche. We talk about doing that. It's difficult to do. And you managed to do it very successfully with that video.
I would encourage this creator to turn all of them into shorts, because presumably they did maybe like 10, 20 GeoGuessrs in this video. Maybe we can clip them down into shorts. And I almost do a part 2 of that as well.
Yeah, I think this is really, really cool. And it's going to be hard to repeat that. You know, you could do it a couple more times probably as it's still trending. But yeah, I want to see them do more trending style content if at all possible.
So Dan, I think they've rewritten the description here just to challenge you. And since you were so good at describing the previous gaming channel, it was the through line was chaotic gaming.
Yeah.
This channel wants you to guess. Stop it! I'm pressing the wrong thing. That's why they want you to guess the channel's topic.
It's going to be flight sim. Does it have to be the one in Roblox? Maybe, because that one's very accessible, and your core audience probably gravitates to it.
Roblox aviation challenges and fun videos.
If there are other flight sims, you could compare the 2 Roblox flight sims back to back. But I don't think this channel, and I could be wrong, but I don't necessarily know if the audience is going to watch them play Microsoft Flight Simulator, for example. I like that one engine thing. 88,000 views on that. Can airlines take off with one engine?
Just asking silly questions. Can it land without brakes?
Yeah, that's working really, really well. And I know it's difficult to think of those ideas once you've kind of burned your low-hanging fruit, but can a plane take off upside down? Like, is there any other silly things you can do?
Can it take off with half the wing size? Unusual.
One wing, or like no tail fin, or I think I'd be just thinking just to make a list one day of all the most ridiculous ways you can play this game. Because again, it's not someone just doing, oh, I'm going to take a flight in a specific jet. Like, no, I'm going to take the game and make a mockery of it. And that content does very well. It's just harder to think of ideas.
Cool stuff. What about the community? We're working on that as well. Yeah. Posted something in the last hour. There's kind of like a cute simplicity to this, because you know usually when you see like flight simulator, it's like, oh my, OMG, this looks so realistic, and then this looks like almost comically basic, but in a fun way.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I'm impressed. The gaming channels we've seen today, for those who have gaming channels here, this is probably the most gaming channels we've seen that have found a lot of success in one live stream.
I agree. It's been a good week. It has been a good week. And why risk finding a Let's Play gaming channel that's been playing, I don't know,
Fortnite,
Knights of the Old Republic for the last 7 years and getting 10 views? So we're not going to risk it. We're gonna quit while we're ahead, play the music. I'm just going to go back to this vidIQ milestone hashtag one more time, just because I would love to find Nero TV. Oh, there we are. Heroes TV Japan. We found them finally. 400 million views they achieved in March.
Great.
So
Congrats.
incredible. Well done to you. And somebody has added a little bit of animation to this one.
I love that.
Natika's Suds and Cents with 100,000 views. Yeah, Suds and Cents. Suds. What am I saying? Oh, dear. Oh, dear. And Courts with 3,000 subscribers. I think we've done all of these. Yes, we have. All right. So let's bring down the screen there. And you've been watching the vidIQ channel audits for the last couple of hours. We hope you found it useful. And all of the tools from vidIQ that we mentioned earlier, the link is in the description. You can download it and start using it for free. Travis, I'm going to give you 30 seconds.
Couple quick things. If you have Boost or above, we have a private Discord just for you where you can get your channel audited in a really in-depth way. I'm gonna put a link in the chat here right now. Make sure you go there, link up your Discord, and do those things. If you don't have Boost, maybe you just have the free, go to vidiq.com/Discord and go to that Discord. There's tons of creators just like you that want to connect today. Matter of fact, right now.
I love it. And Dan, I will give you 30 seconds.
To what everything Travis said, or else we will not be live next week.
Oh,
that sounds like quite a threat, especially when Dan is hosting next week. In the meantime,
or am I?
Don't forget. Oh yeah.
Did he watch it yet or no?
Until then,
of course not.
Until then, everybody, life will find a way.